But you were a part of a particular storyline that caught my eye when I was a kid, and it was the Pepper storyline. For the new
Yeah.
fans out there, I'm going to explain that in Spanish to them. Hubo un momento dado en donde
Hmm.
Al Snow fue parte de una historia bastante interesante que hoy resultaría muy controversial, y fue la historia del perrito Pepper, en donde Big Bossman, que en paz descanse, agarró el perro de Al Snow, lo secuestró, porque estaba molesto por unas situaciones que no vienen al caso, y de repente llegaron a este hotel en donde Al Snow estaba sentado y le ofreció cena a Al Snow, Al se la come y luego le dice que le acaba de dar de comer a su perro. Esto tiene una lucha increíble. Mr. Snow, you were, as I mentioned, part of that incredible storyline. You sit down at that hotel. Big Bossman gave you that amazing dinner. Nobody knew what it was, and it was Pepper. That match, that situation ended in a pretty particular match. We watched the Kennel of Hell match. It was technically a Hell in a Cell match slash steel cage match surrounded by dogs. It was a pretty risky match. Uh, Regarding our generation today,
Uh-huh.
people maybe are way softer and get easily offended compared to
Oh
the
yeah.
previous generations. Uh, do you think that story would have worked in 2020 with this generation? And if so, in case Vince and the crew decided to shoot the match, what would be the crowd reaction, the Gen Z crowd reaction?
Yeah, I think the story would still work. You please understand, like, and I've said this in a couple of other interviews, and and I'm not shifting responsibility or anything, but the biggest issue that we had was that they didn't use trained animals. For something like that, where the crux of the entire story is built around the use of, animals, they need to be very highly trained animals. And the final match, the animals were just, they had went and got a list of owners of Weilers from a local veterinarian clinic in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so we had months building the focal point about the dogs, and then we couldn't use the dogs within the match at all. It was not good. Um, but do I think that the story would work, and would people be offended now? Yes, the story would work. There were people that were offended back then. The office got lots of, letters and phone calls from
Oh, wow.
animal rights groups complaining about it, and in that type of thing. And people are entitled to their opinions. That doesn't bother me, and you know, but the story would still work. It would, I had a relationship that I cared for the dog. The dog got kidnapped. The villain, feeds me my own dog. Well, then of course, people are going to want to see me, you know, face that villain and get some justice to beat him. And those are universal. They'll always work. For people out there listening, uh, um, this just applied to me, but it applies in life, because you're all, I'm not saying you're soft, but please understand that I'm responsible for what I say. I am in no way, shape, or form responsible for how you interpret that or how you understand it. And this is a fact of life, and this is a little life advice for everyone listening. No one can make you feel anything. No one can make you angry. No one can make you sad. No one can make you happy. People will do behavior or make statements, and then you get to choose how you feel about them. You can actually choose not to be offended. It's really simple. And if you are offended, then you've made the decision to be offended. So take control of your life. Don't be a victim. Actually be responsible for yourself.